siya. Ayon kay DFA Office of Migrant Workers Affairs Executive Director Raul Dado, kumilos ng abogado ng Philippine Embassy sa Malaysia para tulungan ang mga bibitahing Pinoy. Kinilala ang mga ito na sina Datu Amir Bahar Hushin Kiram, Hulham Rashid, Virgilio Nemar Patulada, Muhammad Alam Patulada, Salik Ahmad Emali, Tani Lahad Dahi, Basag Manuel, Atik Husin Abubakar, Al-Wazir Osman at Ismael Yasin. Ang siyam na Pinoy ay hinatulan ng kamatayan dahil sa pagdeklara nila ng gyera laban sa hari noong 2013. Tinatayang nasa 70 katao ang nasawi sa naturang insidente.
Inspeksyon ni Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano ang DFA para tingnan ang kalagayan ng mga kababayan nating nag-aasikaso ng kanilang mga pasaporte. Pinangako din ni Cayetano na bago matapos ng taon ay maaari nang mag-apply ng pasaporte na may 10 taong validity. Report mula kay Joy Gumatay.
Muling binisita ni Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano ang DFA Asiana para kamustahin ang lagay ng mga nag-aasikaso ng kanilang passport application at renewal. Pagdating ng kalihim, nilapitan kaagad niya ang mga nakaupo sa queuing area at inalam kung ilang oras na silang naghihintay rito.
Kasi gusto ko makita yung kay Alan kung anong oras siya matatapos. Pero walang aalala yan. So 10 minutes ago, so mga 11:15 po yan. Pa-check na lang.
Bagamat ikinatutuwa ng kalihim na mula kalahating araw, ngayon ay 1 hanggang 2 oras na lang ang inilalaan ng mga aplikante sa passport processing. Naniniwala si Cayetano na kaya pa itong pabilisin sa tulong ng karagdagang gamit at tao.
Ang nakikita namin, kailangan pa rin talaga magdagdag. Kasi ang pumupunta dito, galing pang Bulacan, galing pang Rizal, galing Laguna, Cavite, may Batangas. So kailangan din magbukas tayo ng mga regional consular offices para mas malapit na sa kanila at ma-decongest na rin dito.
Siniguro naman ang kalihim na hindi kakailanganing magdagdag ng payment fee ang mga aplikante para maisakatuparan ito dahil kumikita naman raw ng 100 piso kada isang pasaporte ang kagawaran. Sapat na pondo sa pagpapalawak ng serbisyo. Dagdag pa rito, ipinangako rin ni Secretary Cayetano na bago matapos ang 2017, maaari nang mag-apply ng pasaporte na may 10-year validity.
Naipasa na to and I have no reason to believe na mabibito. So nagpagawa na ako ng implementing rules and regulations para pag napirma ng Pangulo, mabilis to ma-implement.
Para sa Bayan, Joy Gumatay.
Yang diin ni DFA Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano na prioridad ng DFA ang kapakanan at pagtulong sa mga overseas Filipino workers o OFWs. Ayon sa kalihim, may mga ilalatag na programa ng ahensya para tugunan ang pangangailangan ng mga OFW. Ulat mula sa ating kasamang si Joy Gumatay. Joy?
Princess, business as usual ang magiging takbo ng Department of Foreign Affairs sa kasagsagan ng 4-day state visit ng Philippine delegation sa Russia kasama si Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano. Sa kauna-unahang flag-raising ceremony na pinangunahan ng kalihim kaninang umaga, hinimok niya ang mga concerned employees na tutukan ang pagsasagawa ng consultative meeting kasama ang DOLE, OWA, POEA, gayon rin ang mga recruitment agencies at employers ng mga Filipino migrant workers. Ito ay tungo sa pagtataguyod ng kapakanan at pagpapabuti ng kondisyon sa pagtatrabaho ng mga makabagong bayani ng ating bansa. Kaugnay nito, inaasahan naman ng kalihim na sa kanyang pagbalik sa Pilipinas matapos ang state visit sa Russia ay makapaglalatag na ng memorandum ang mga Foreign Affairs Legislative Officers para lalong mapabuti ang passport processing system. Naniniwala kasi ang ating kalihim na posible namang tanggalin na ang passport appointment scheme, gayon rin lalong mapabilis pa ang passport release na magagawa sa loob lamang ng ilang araw at hindi na kinakailangan pang umabot ng ilang linggo. Bago naman tuluyang iwan ang Kongreso, maalala nating naghain si Secretary Cayetano ng panukalang batas na naglalayong magtayo ng isang kagawaran para mismo sa mga Filipino migrant workers. Ito nga ay ang Department of Foreign Employment para mapalawig ang suporta ng pamahalaan lalo na sa mga distressed OFWs sa Middle East. Princess, yung ating pinakahuling balita mula dito sa Senado para sa PTV News, Joy Gumatay.
Maraming salamat, Joy Gumatay.
Trump. Of course, I agree with Trump because he agrees with me. That's the about part. The third is criminality. Must stop. And the abuses. The abuses against the military and civilians and police against civilians has to stop. I do not want oppression. Maybe it be better, even in the customs, there will be no opening of bags. You're just wave through. Anyway, when the cargo and the luggages are deplaned, it goes down to a bodega where there is a scanner. X-ray so when you go up to a sort of an escalator conveyor, they already passed so if there is shabu, if there's a gun, you should be able to discern it while it is there, because it passes a big camera. So when it's done there, lalo na yung OFW, kami, mga congressman, mayor, we are way by, may salute pa, even with the train of luggages. Here comes the OFW. Kung may isa ako diyang insidente, galing ako Hong Kong. Hindi na niya nakabalot kasi maliit lang Dala-dala niya para sa... And we were late because I was waiting for this guy. Pinahirapan niya tinuturo na doon sa Tahiro. Hindi siguro sila nakaintindi magkano. Sinabi ko sa kanya, Brad, bakit hindi mo pagbigyan liit-liit niya? Kami kanina, sabi ng customer, bakit sino ka ba? Sabi ko, putang ina mo, sipain kita ngayon dyan. Sino ka? Sabi ko, bakit sinuka mo ako? Ikaw ang isusuka ko. Sabi ko, si Mayor Duterte ako nanda ko. Kaya nga wala. You go abroad, come in, there's no opening of the bank. No more. No more. I don't allow it. I don't allow anybody to touch the bags. Leave it to the intelligence and the operation guys there, because they would know if there's something brewing. But for those there in the... Alam mo, ito nung before it's 8 o'clock. Si Irap naghihintay na yung buang birthday niya ngayon Sabi niya, punta ka talaga ha. Kasi, tapos noon sabi niya, wala yan si Duterte, ano yan? Low class lang yan, ano yan, style na pagka ano. Ngayon, balik kita sa kulungan. Ano ang makita mo sa akin? If you want to find fault, money will take you forever. Women, they're all patanda na sila. Pinatawad ko na sila. Sabi ko, wala na. Wala. I sleep early. After eating, I sleep. Listen to the news. Pero ito ba? Alam mo ba kung bakit hanggang ngayon ano tayo? Because the Filipino takot sa mga pulis, pati military, pati mga customs. BIR, kailangan pa magdala sa customs, magbayad ka ba? Because you are not assertive of your rights. Look at the Americans. You just cannot fuck with them. They will shout at you. Oh, what's happening? What's wrong with my bag? Kayo dapat, pag magpunta yung mga BIR, and you have paid, and it is the correct amount, you shit him. We're at the airport, or you create a scandal, because it would reach me, and I will call him, and I guarantee you, I slap him twice in your presence. One for me and one for you. Ito. It's not a novel idea. I do it in Davao City for almost 23 years. And everybody behaves. So all you have to do is to be assertive. If you ask more than what you are required to pay, tell them, you better shut up or I'll slap you. And then he begins to cheat up. Say, okay, you wait, I'll call President Duterte. And I have opened the television, PTV4. After the news, there's a 1 hour blank there because it says you can text there. In this office, I followed up the papers and I was asked for the official. You name them. You need not give your name, but you name the official. Because I read it every day. And then I said, call the guy. And if I'm not satisfied, I said, either you resign or I'll file charges against you. Or better still, if you want. I've been doing it. I'll throw you over the Pasig River. It's just me. I'll tie your hands and feet and just drop you there. Alam ang Pilipino pag hindi mo ganunin. Kung makiusap na would like to ask our countrymen to behave and let's work together. Puta na bila, ako bulahe na. Fuck you. Hindi mo madala ng istorya ng gano'n. I said, remember, I am not I was not here and I was not nurtured in this kind of ambience sa Maynila na maraming mayaman. I do not come from an exclusive village. I am just trying hard just to. My worry is really my autobahn. I said Duterte will declare martial law. What do you mean martial law? Declare the right of habeas corpus. I will not do that. I have this compressed to a simple phrase. It is my duty is to protect the Filipino nation. My term begins and ends with public service. Nothing behind, nothing more than it's there. And I will do it. I would know what power. When I said in the Abu Sayyaf, because there's an ASEAN meeting now, and we went there maybe to kidnap. It's a long drive, actually. And I told the Navy, if you see him, the boat, blast them off. Do not give me prisoners. I don't need them. If there's a fight and they surrender, you refuse, you decline the offer of surrender, let's continue fighting, but eventually they'll run out of bullets. I have plenty of soldiers to spare. I have a stock of, I have acquired, meron na tayo, we have a, ibig-sabihin ka? I will be, before I go, we'll have about 16 F-50 jets. I'm using them. They're not supposed to be used during these rebellion cases because of the, but I said use them. And I've been using them. We're bombing, either you stop. I have told the Mindanaoans here, you from Mindanao, because they are now putting IED, improvised explosive devices. That's what it is. Pati yung mga eskwelahan, Marawi State University, there was a grenade in the Sambonga High School. And sinabi ko sa kanila, do not force my hand into it. I do not like it. Believe me. Do not force me to declare martial law. Because if I declare martial law for the Mindanao Island, then I will finish everything. Not only the insurgency or the rebellion, but every problem that has to be solved there. I will finish everything. I will solve all the problems for you. And it will really be harsh for everybody. And if I have to kill, I will not hesitate to do it. That's why I said, do not kill the young people. Do not place explosives.